visitors for the May 7th museum opening, and a couple books were sold. The weather was not good, thus causing a cancellation of the historic walk. Larry attended the May 9th Archaeology and Historic Preservation Month award ceremony at Chautauqua. Larry, Bob, and David attended the NFRAM meeting on April 18th, hosted by the Forney Museum. The next NFRAM meeting is planned for June 20th at Gold Hill. Larry attended the Boulder Heritage Roundtable on April 21st. There was nothing new to report. The spring education program held on April 21st was well attended with 30 to 40 present. Jackie Ainley Conley spoke on the Broomfield Depot Museum, and comments indicated that it was one of the best that we have had. The cataloging filing committee worked one Friday and got a lot accomplished. Derek Ielo has not yet responded regarding production of another history DVD. Jill's goal is to produce an oral video on the town, schools, mine, and people by sometime in July. There's no news on the Superior Information in Wikipedia project. Brian reported on the status of the fire truck restoration work and showed several pictures of the progress being made. It is moving along well and should be complete for the 4th of July parade. Brian stated that future work on the truck will be in next year's budget. Wally commented that he still believes 1 or 2 commission members should be allowed to drive the truck and that some kind of agreement should be made with the insurance company. Wally has not yet worked on the cream separator. Brian has ordered the new museum sign, and the exact placement of it will be determined when it arrives. This decision can be made at the June 4th museum opening. Brian reported on the 2016 capital improvement projects. After the fire truck work, it is planned to contact gutter companies to do installation on the museum. Next one is an update on the Living in Superior coloring books. A couple pages need to be revised and edited, and then additional copies will be ordered prior to the fall school field trips. Karen reported that a thank you note needs to be sent to Danny Kupner and Jean Morgan for their donation of the Bruno collection. It was also moved by Bob Morgan and seconded by Joe Roberts that we donate $100 to the Broomfield Depot Museum in conjunction with the thank you note to the speaker, Jackie Conley. We would also like to send a congratulatory note to Laverne Johnson for having a Lions Park named after her for her many years of service to that town. New business. Staffing for the museum openings on June 4th and 18th was discussed. Wally volunteered to furnish lunch on June 4th. The historic walk has been planned for 2 p.m. that day. The Boulder Heritage Roundtable meeting on June 16th was announced. Larry reported that the advisory committee open house on April 28th was lightly attended. Current volunteer Lindsay Flewelling has an interview with the town board on May 23rd for the commission's one vacancy. Next was a discussion on commission member terms. Larry Dorsey and Errol Waligorski have terms expiring on June 30th. Both have expressed their interest to be reappointed to the commission. Activities for July 4th were discussed. Everyone agrees that our tent should be located back in the park rather than next to the historic fire truck, as it was last year. Katie proposed that we rotate the displays in the museum and include new topics. Perhaps we could even participate in a traveling display among museums. Bob Morgan moved that the meeting be adjourned, and Joe Roberts seconded the motion. Next meeting is June 17th.
All right, any additions or corrections to the minutes?
I think Karen, in the beginning, you said the capital improvement account has a balance of, you said 1,500. I think that's a historic preservation account. You meant to say historic preservation account.
Okay, wait a minute.
Say it again, and then I'll tell you.
Go back to that again. I didn't.
Yeah, sorry. You said the capital improvement account has a balance of, I think you said 15.
1533, you mean?
Yeah, that's the historic.
Did I switch the two?
Yeah, well, the historic preservation account balance is 1533,
Okay,
yeah.
and the other one is, the capital improvement is 281387?
No, the capital improvement is 5,000. I think the
Where did
confusion
that-
was, that was because the 1533 was, after the, not to get, is after the sign purchase.
Oh.
And so my report didn't show that yet, but I did say 1533, so.
Okay.
So I think just putting
And the
1533,
capital
yeah.
improvement should say 5,000?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine, yep.
I'll correct that.
Okay.
Resend it.
All right.
Anything else? Motion to accept the corrected minutes.
I make a motion that the corrected minutes be accepted.
Okay. So I think we'll just declare them acceptable because we always do that anyway, so. Very good, thank you, Karen. And, so, fire truck account.
Okay, the balance for the fire truck account is now $202. We had a collection of $16 cash donations at the June 4th museum opening. Also sold a book, and then we sold 3 books the other night. This guy pushed. So it's $202.00.
Okay.
Thank you. So that one pusher as well, huh? Okay, Brian?
Yeah, the historic preservation account balance is $1,533.87.
So did you say the sign?
Has already hit, yeah, that's including the sign purchase,
Encumbered?
yeah. Mhm.
Big word, I
Okay, that brings up a question
Mhm.
to last month.
Yeah.
Was it really 1533.87? Or where did the 87 cents come
I
from?
know, the reason I brought it up was just to like, so everyone kind of knew, like, hey, the 2,800, I guess, to be totally factual, you should just report the $2,800, because that was what my report showed, and that's usually what I
Okay.
I report, so. I only brought up the 1,500 because, so everyone knew a big expense was coming,
Okay.
you know, so.
Yeah, what the sign ended up costing?
It was like 1,300 or something like- yeah.
So we should put it away and save it.
That's right. You put the other one out in the barn.
Better not get a hailstorm.
Okay, well, why don't we commence on the old business then? Museum opening on June 4th. If you do the show.
Yeah. Had the what, great-granddaughter of the founder, Dave shows up. Jeannie, the Lily.
Oh, yeah, oh, I forgot that she, oh, yeah. Yeah, we did have the Lilly family there,
Yeah.
I forgot she was, that's right. Well, I'd say we had probably fewer than 10, and then a lot of the people who went on the walk, of course, walked through before the hike, right?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And seemed like the walk went pretty well.
I think
Would
people
we-
were interested.
Would you count 38?
I counted 38, counting, including us,
Oh, okay.
but it seemed like people kept walking out of the house, and then I had to revise, but it's somewhere around 38.
Mm-hmm.
So 32 or 33 without us. It's pretty good.
We had a good walk, I thought. Bob had him in the palm of his hand again, as always.
I've heard he does.
Yeah. And, well, you didn't make it on the walk, is that correct?
That's correct.
I'm sorry that happened, Walt, really, so.
I crashed.
Nice
Lawsuit against the city.
Oh, no. Should have known that was coming, huh? This
Let
is
me
the
explain
United
to
States
you
Air
about
Force.
sovereign immunity.
Oh, yeah, right. Oh, my goodness. We keep doing the same thing every year on the walk, and it seems to go over very well.
Well, you gotta get some new history going.
All right, start making
Make
up
some
some
new
more
stuff
stuff.
up.
Another gunshot, shootout or something.
Right. Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
Newly
You
discovered.
could reenact it there on the very spot, huh? I
Get the
did not go
James
to
gang
the,
to come through.
I didn't go to the roundtable meeting yesterday, because I had something I had to do at the Railroad Museum, so it took priority. Want to take a moment right here to talk about the Louisville program, the shootout at the Superior
I meant to
Depot.
put that on the agenda, I'm sorry.
Well, that's okay, because it's not really a function of our group, I guess. But anyway, really nice turnout. A few people from the commission were there, Gail and Catherine Mark came, and Bob, of course, Bob and Jane. And then 3 people from Superior came, Louise Russell and Louise Bednar. And I was going to say Violet. Mary Malmstrom, who was Mary Sekwich, and then Louise Bennett, who was Louise Benelli. They all came. And Jean Morgan is there, and Jean said, finally said, why don't you 3 stand up and tell us a little bit about your past in Superior? And so between them and Bob, everybody there got a nice view of what his life was like back in the day. Yeah, and I think there were over 30 people. I think 2/3 of them were from Superior. So
Yeah, a lot of new people, new residents.
yeah.
I
And
wonder
Brian,
how
by the
many
way,
of them knew about the event. They probably heard of it.
I didn't think to ask about that, because I think these things coming out of the community bulletin board are helping a lot.
Yeah, it was on the community building.
Yeah, I really feel that's producing, because at the open house and at the walk, we had people, at least 2 different couples who were coming out of those new Remington houses over by Danny's place. And so, oh, by the way, Danny was there last Saturday. So we got people who are new to Superior, literally, that just moved in, are showing up to some of these events. So,
What was the official name of your talk, shootout at?
Superior Depot.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was a good presentation, you did a good.
Oh, I guess.
Oh, thank you.
I learned a lot. I did.
I don't see how you keep that all in your head, Larry Dorsey.
Oh,
He makes
well,
it
it's
up.
just the way the mind works. Yeah,
Where'd
don't ask.
you find the drawing that was used at the trial of the shooting?
That's in a document that's in the Louisville Library, and we might even have a copy of it. It's on the cemetery, believe it or not, on the Superior Cemetery. Yeah, it has a schematic diagram of where the bullets were flying, and things like that.
Very, very good.
Part of the jury trial, apparently. Yeah, so I should probably get all that stuff kind of compiled and put it in one of our file folders.
So you did a lot of research, sounds like.
Well, I did quite a bit of research, and then I kept asking Bridget questions. She kept sending me more stuff, so Bridget was really helpful on this. That's where I got the picture of Circe and so forth.
Well, she was great, so I know who you presented.
Sounds like we have next year's spring program.
It is a good presentation. Yeah,
Think about that.
yeah. Still like nowhere at $10,000.
No kidding.
That was quite a collection.
Was that for the,
Bond out the
Yeah.
sheriff,
Yeah.
the marshal.
yeah, that's a huge amount.
Especially when it's about 12 people. Catalog and filing.
Oh, boy.
Good.
Well, Alan's been busy typing, and we've been busy dictating, I guess, is how you could say
We
it.
did have one session since the last meeting. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just plugging along, getting some things cataloged and stored.
We have plenty of stuff to catalog, too.
This seems to be, it's always there.
And Mary comes by, that's great.
Yeah, Mary's our vertical file expert.
Oh. On paper.
Yeah, so she's cutting out articles and putting them in file folders, so. Oral history project, anything new on that? I haven't heard anything. Anybody else?
No.
Greg ever get back to anything at all?
It's kind of the way he operates, so I think when he gets inspired, we'll hear from him.
You know, what I'm hoping is I'm gonna get our pictures organized over the next 1 to 3 months, and then have Larry send it to him and say, hey, work some magic on this, right? You know,
Yeah.
yeah. We need an expert, so.
Should have shown, I should have put some video in my PowerPoint. I should put in the gunfight that Derek had on his video. The gunfight. Wikipedia.
Is there anything new? Yeah. Wonderful.
Not yet, no. That's good, that.
That's all it counts. Okay, now for the main event.
Every month, it's gotta be the main event every month.
All right.
Until July 5th.
Yeah. Yeah, I just talked to those guys today at Mile High Classics, and they just have to do the pinstriping yet, and then the truck's gonna be done next Friday.
Oh,
Next Friday, so it's on the
So on
27th.
top of things, haven't they?
Really?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I know this isn't the overhead, but this is like kind of the
Mm-hmm.
current pictures.
Oh,
and,
man. Good.
like I said, they have to do the pinstriping, and then we'll talk to George, and he'll go pick it up, and
Now, did you add extra money to get the pinstriping done now? Is that what it was?
yeah, that was actually,
I can review that.
yeah, that was something that came up, actually since the last meeting. They're gonna pay to do because that wasn't included in the additional estimate. They're gonna pay to do the Superior Fire Department and the gold leaf, or that kind of gold pinstriping on the doors, in exchange for we're allowing them to do like a 6x6 inch, I guess, logo of, it'll say Mile High Classics. It'll be like on the back rear of the truck. And I guess it's fairly common with
Hot rods.
the hot rods, I guess, for instance. But we thought that was fair, and actually, it was kind of urgent when it came up for their timeline. So I did run it by Larry, and I think Larry might have talked to a couple people. But so yeah, that, I guess that's a long answer, but not
You didn't add any money.
no, it wasn't an additional cost. Yeah, so we'll, instead of like we were gonna do like the vinyl door, you know, like you see on the trustee in the parade, but it'll actually be in the gold lettering for the parade. So.
Yeah.
And actually, the back of the truck, the floor bed, that's all new. They replaced all that. No
Wonderful.
more
Yeah.
rotted wood. Yeah, yeah.
That's
So.
great. Do we have any, what is the right word, any clauses, anything like that, that take it back if there's something got overlooked or didn't get the just right, or?
With the work that they're doing,
Yeah,
you think?
yeah.
I mean, I think these guys are pretty on top of it. Like, they're actually even doing stuff that, you know, it's kind of above and beyond the scope, the original scope. So,
Yeah.
you know, I guess we'll be pretty happy.
I think so too, I'm just, thinking about, well, it's not relevant now, so. So the 27th, so they're gonna deliver it,
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be done the end of the
Friday?
day. Yeah, next Friday. That's the current schedule.
That's the 24th.
24th. Okay, 24th. Yep.
Well, that's wonderful.
Sounds like they've enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah, because they typically do like cars, you know, the
Mhm.
muscle cars, so this is kind of a first, big fire truck, yeah. So,
Well, we'll find out then too about the accessories and what have you, about which ones are on and off.
yeah, I mean, I think everything's gonna be operable, you know, the lights, all that stuff's,
Super.
Is there a special time they're going to deliver it?
Yeah, well.
Could we watch?
Yeah, well, yeah. Oh, I know, it'll be pretty cool. Well, I'll send an email to the group when, because George Kuffner is gonna go pick it up in a flatbed. So it's not gonna be, we're not having Mile High Classics drive it back, we're just gonna have George. He brought it there, we'll have him go pick it up, and, so when he does that day, I can, I'm sure you guys are aware, if you wanna see it, you know, be delivered, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
be out of town. You can't go see it without me.
Well, I think it might be that following Monday. So I think it'll be done the 24th. It might not be until that following, yeah.
It's gonna be in time, isn't it? Brian,
Yeah,
nice
oh,
work
yeah.
on this project, by the
Yeah.
way. You really
Yes.
followed
Yeah,
followed
thanks.
us through very well, so really appreciate it.
And our thanks to the town board for the money.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
I wonder how close they're gonna come to the whole 25,000.
Might be a touch over.
No.
A touch, just a touch.
Ask those
Well,
questions,
this-
Larry.
Well, the mayor, you're within the town.
$202,
Yeah.
we're okay.
Yeah.
Right. Don't forget the two. Otherwise, we'll have to go out and get a job.
Oh, no, not a job.
So who's gonna give it a blue coral job?
Yeah, well, we'll get the advice from the Mile High guys about
Yeah.
what to do next time.
It has to sit a while.
Yeah.
Paint that stuff for you.
Something, I don't know how much, I know they're talking about budgeting for next year, and certainly the amount for the fire truck, I'm sure, is gonna be substantially less, I guess, for next year, but, maybe something to think about with this fire truck account. I know it's like slowly growing, but like, maybe like that, the additional pinstriping around the truck. I don't know, it's just a thought that could work towards that or
I
something.
think that's real
Get the
logical.
interior rolled and treated,
Yeah.
take it down to Mexico.
No. Get the hydraulics on us and. That'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it, in the parade bouncing up and down?
Yes.
Historical, of course.
Anything new on the cream separator?
No, he has not worked on it.
Okay. Museum signage update, so we placed the markers in the ground and?
Yeah, I think I passed that along to Matt Rarick on our park staff, and it's just a matter of, those guys are pretty busy right now with a lot of irrigation stuff, but I mean, it's on their schedule, so, you know, I think as long as there's no, I guess, I don't know, certain, like lines running underneath
And
that
no
particular area,
surprises.
yeah, no surprises, I think that location will work, so. Yeah, I'll let you guys know when it's going in, but thanks for the detail on the exact placement. So.
We'll send Katie and Alan over there to stand over their shoulders and say, no. Higher, lower.
That'd be fine, actually.
Just like hanging pictures and living with them.
Oh, dear.
Okay, thanks for all the effort on that. It's gonna be nice to see that sign up. Capital improvement project, number 8.
Yeah, this is kind of slow moving, but I don't want to get too bogged down on it, but I did get I met with a couple gutter companies, and a couple things, something to consider. I don't think we should, I'll advise probably not rushing into this and thinking about it, because both places, you know, well, like, if you look here, the town hall gutters, these new ones that were put up within the last couple of years, that's a 6-inch half-round gutter. And it's pretty substantial. And let's see, one of the companies was recommending putting that on the museum, because if you look at, next time you're there, if you look, the roof, that kind of fascia, if you visualize the gutter installing there, well, to make the gutter actually operable and work how it's supposed to, you're gonna have to trim back on that, I guess, fascia.
If that
of
fascia
the
isn't
roof, yeah.
vertical, is it?
No, it's slanting down, so you have to like cut into it probably a couple inches, which that was included in, you know, the work, but, so a 6-inch I think would be, I don't know, I guess the thing is maybe look and see if you think that'd be overkill, you know, like one place said it might be a little much, and then another company that actually did these said, oh, it'd be fine, so, the town hall gutters are 6-inch, and then there's a 5-inch option as well, which, then you'd have to trim back even more, I think. What's that?
4, I think.
What's on a house?
Our
Regular
house
house.
was built with some 4 and some 5.
Mhm.
Okay,
Mostly 4.
Yeah,
Mhm.
okay.
nothing that substantial like that.
Yeah.
Well, the ones on the building department bungalow?
Yeah, the ones on the chamber building, I think those are 5, but, you know, if you look,
Not that big.
yeah, they're definitely not 6, but if you look, I mean, they don't, can't visualize it now, but they don't have to deal with, it's a different install, they're not dealing with like a roof line coming down. Rough estimate for like, let's say a 6-inch half-round gutter, and then plus the work of trimming the fascia back a couple inches is like 2,800 roughly. That was kind of for both companies. So yeah, I mean, certainly I think at this point, I'm not gonna rush on any of that, but maybe just look at these and kind of visualize maybe you know, because it's the same style as the chamber building, it's that kind of half-round, it's not a common, it's more, I guess.
Well, our priority might be the Grassl Park House, I think, in terms of the.
And is there a problem with it, that it's historical and we're putting something brand new on it? I mean, going back to the whole, is it gonna look really strange and should we not? I understand there's a need for something, but like, should we ask Catherine? She
That's
was
why
the
we
one that
went with the
kind of gave us-
half-round, because it's kind of historical rather than why we're considering the half-round.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I think,
what
yeah.
Katie brought up, we need to consider in cutting this fascia back, we might need to consider that too. We
Mhm.
don't want to violate any of the
Yeah.
conditions of our state of Colorado historical grant, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think, like, last fall when we did the painting, I mean, there was a person with the State Historical Society, I still have her contact, and it was just, I think it's just more a matter of running by them, like, what you're wanting to do, and then, okay, great, or, yeah, that's not recommended.
Just to
so-
the benefit of the building, because, you
Mhm.
know, that splash.
Yeah.
Brian, is the 2,800 just for the Mine Camp house, or does that include the Mine Camp house and the house at Grassl Park?
Oh, that's just the museum, the Mine Camp House, yeah. Yeah, that's it, but it's including the work to trim back the fascia of the shingles.
My opinion is we need Grassl Park House first.
Grassl Park,
Because
okay.
it's, we have to do all that replacement of siding last
Yeah,
year
we have to do
because of
siding.
the splash
Yeah.
up on it,
So that's, okay.
So, to get a number on that one, Brian?
Yeah, I'll have to work on that, yeah. For some reason, I was thinking, maybe I misunderstood. I was thinking the museum was discussed as the priority, but that's fine. That won't be hard to get. But I didn't talk about that with them. That was a starting point for the museum.
Could you get the house at Grassl Park and the one wall of the museum that's over the stairs and see together or separate what those are?
Yeah.
Because that is sort
Considering
of a
that too, right,
crucial.
because those other 3 walls, that's probably one of the reasons why they have that angle on the fascia, because it just drains right straight off and doesn't go down the fascia or down the side of the building. Right? Just to this budget. And I think 5 inches on it, or 6 inches isn't necessary on the Grassl Park.
They just don't have that much
You
roof
don't have
space
square
draining
footage
into
of
it.
roof.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, thanks. You work on that, and I guess too, priority would be to get it done, something on for winter.
Yeah, for
So,
sure.
I
Yep.
mean, we're past the rainy season for the spring now, so. Okay, very good. Number 9, Karen, on correspondence.
Okay, we sent thank you notes to Danny Kuffner and Jean Morgan for passing on the Bruno collection. I also sent a congratulatory card to Laverne Johnson in Lyons for her having a park named after her for all her years of service up there. So that came from all of us. Okay, I did not send a thank you to our spring education speaker because Larry had already done that. He had already sent her a thank you along with a $25 gift card. So that had already happened, and I didn't know that. So Larry wasn't in our meeting last time, and so in the meantime, I talked to Larry, and he said he had already thanked her, so I thought it was somewhat overkill to do it again. But now there's a question on this $100 donation. Some of us think possibly this is setting a precedent for paying all of our speakers $100 or donating $100 to them. There's different opinions on this, but also I got a response from Joe Sorelli saying it's not necessarily a custom for the committees to donate money to other organizations.
Not that I'm aware of. And usually if the board were to do it, they'd think about it, you know.
Yeah.
And in fact, when we have grants, we have kind of a competitive grant program that, when we do that, so this is a close call. If you just kind of lump it into your work plan of doing the spring program, no big deal, but to take some of your budget to give donations out is,
I'm sorry.
it just struck me as maybe that's not what the work plan money's for, unless you wanted to ask the board to do it, or the town or maybe we should get their board or town approval to make even the town manager would have the authority. But when I got thinking about it, I just said, I don't remember doing this.
Well, in that case too, we'd be giving, money from the town government of Superior to the city government of Broomfield.
Yeah.
Since that's a Broomfield City County
Yeah.
museum. Sometimes I get an honorarium for doing programs for the Railroad Museum, that's a nonprofit, and it doesn't go to me, it goes into the
Right.
restoration fund at the museum.
Now, this was an honorarium as part of the spring program, for which we had said this was, part of the work plan to have a spring program. Wouldn't even be a threshold question.
No, I think it's from one public entity to another public entity, and it doesn't make a lot of sense, because that is tax dollars going to tax dollars. I thought the same thing, it just
Yeah.
didn't make a lot of sense.
Sometimes we've had some of our speakers that come through Colorado Chautauqua, and of course there's a fee involved with that, which is a different,
Yeah, there's,
that's apples to oranges in that case.
so it's not an obvious thing to me, but at the same time, I wondered about it. Didn't bring it up with anybody, didn't bring it up to the board. Wasn't gonna make a big deal out of it, but it just got me wondering.
But you sent a gift card, just like a personal,
Yeah, just a
Like a-
Starbucks card,
So I think that's good.
yeah.
And we have done that for many of our other
Yeah.
spring program speakers. We've given gift cards, but they've all been around 25, haven't they, Bob? Yeah.
Well, if there's some other opinions on this one, come out, otherwise we'll probably have to have a motion to rescind our earlier motion, huh?
Yeah.
If that's what we want to do.
Yeah.
I make a motion to rescind that motion, whatever they had, put the date in.
I'll second it before any other discussion.
Okay, so it's been moved and seconded to rescind the motion of the May, whatever it was, 14th meeting.
20.
Okay. Let's do the right month. May 20th meeting, moved by Wall, seconded by Mary. Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor of that, so say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that was nice, idea, good compassionate idea.
you write him a
so
note
forth.
to tell him we thought about it.
That's right.
Yeah.
We thought about
Best
this,
left
we took it back.
Really great idea.
Thanks anyway.
We were going too much.
Tell them if they wanna cancel the Jefferson Parkway.
Oh, we'll send them $100. this Laverne Johnson up at Lions, she's, I don't know how many of you have seen her, run into her, some of us have been in all four, see her here and there and every place, and she's this feisty old gal, she's probably, she has to be pushing 90 years old by
I
now.
think she's 90.
Oh, that's right, she had her 90th
I think it was in the
birthday.
paper
Yeah,
that
right,
she's 90.
That's right.
Wow.
Full of energy and drive.
I just told those people, you're not gonna cooperate with me, I'm just gonna get on the board, so she got on the town board apparently. And we went to I went to the awards, the preservation awards, and the MC was getting ready to conclude, and I was, there comes Lord Michael. She comes up to the podium and she's, I'm gonna take a couple of minutes and tell you what's going on up in Lyons, and the MC was, well, thanks for letting me know. So she just came up and took over the podium and spent about 5 minutes talking about things. And, thanks very much. So she really deserves all the attention she gets because she's really done a lot up there.
Yeah, for years, we would meet with her and she'd say, I get no support from the town. And she was envious of the support that we had from the town of Superior because they were just kind of almost fighting her there for a little while.
So she's
And
got
then
on
it
town
turned
board.
around, but
Well, July 4th activities, parade for logistics, that sounds like something. So we need to review the times.
Well, yeah.
Old people, they need to be reminded.
The lineup for the floats begins at 7:30 a.m. that morning, so, and the parade starts at 8:30.
If somebody gets the stuff ready, I'll put it out at the community park.
So it'll be the same lineup place up by
Yeah.
pool? Okay.
Yep. Well, up Rock Creek.
Oh, that's right, you've gone up Rock Creek Parkway.
Yeah,
last
it
year.
won't be,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, on Rock Creek Parkway, and,
Somebody fill the bucket.
so, well, so we won't have, okay, is Mac Rarick gonna be driving the truck, I think?
Hasn't been discussed yet, but let's assume so, yeah, that he probably will,
So should we
yeah.
have one or two people, so a couple people riding the back of the truck, maybe? Riding the truck?
It was fun, I looked through it again, it was fun, wasn't it, but I think perhaps we ought to share that with someone else.
yeah, Mary and David and I rode last year, but if someone else would like to ride,
I would imagine too, Gladys might be up front, I don't know, or.
Gladys
she-
rode in the
we'll probably ask her.
rider's seat
Yeah,
last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot that, huh?
I'll ride.
Okay.
I'm not gonna let you walk anymore.
Put
you on a short leash.
Oh, that hurt. That's good.
You gotta keep them safe.
That's okay, walk and ride, but then you won't be able to put out the stuff out of the tubs. That's okay because there's others of us to do that, so. So anybody besides Walt? Wanna ride? Volunteers can ride too.
Yeah. It saves walking.
You wanna ride?
Wally. You just
well,
like the queen.
I think he's gonna be down the park with the tent.
Okay.
But he can't
Somebody
ride.
need, well, I'll ask him.
Yeah, ask him, because I usually fill up the tub anyway, so I can just take the tub down to
I
the park.
think he prefers to go down to the park, but
Yeah.
I'll ask him.
I'll be down at the park.
Okay.
That's okay.
Sure.
I would
So,
ride if
sounds
no one
nice.
else does, but I've already done it, so.
Yeah, it's the same here.
We've done it before, but if there's still room.
So it sounds like Walton, Bob, and Mary will be there for the 4th of July. 2 Walagorskis and two
And I'll be at the
kart races.
booth. I've got flyers in the parade and
Mhm.
historic commission at breakfast.
Wow.
And my brownies just don't come.
Trying to make
No,
or the.
no, my Girl Scout troop, I just don't even offer it as an activity for them. Like, you're-
I'd be,
Don't wanna be tracking them all day.
I'd be happy to stay
But
by
they're all
the
on
truck.
flyers anyways, right?
Yeah.
3/4 of them, so
I don't
you're
know what
not
time
going
to do
with
that.
flyers.
Oh, up at the park?
Yeah, because remember, we're gonna put the booth inside the fence this year.
Mhm.
We'll need someone to go get your pancakes.
That's right. Absolutely.
Need
We
a
gotta
caterer.
coordinate that because
Yes.
Well, I'll be around, I'll bring you a pancake if you please.
Okay. Very thoughtful. Okay, so it sounds like we have plenty of people, and, so I can put together the tub, and I can let you know what I'm gonna do, if anyone else wants to help, it doesn't make a lot of work, so.
You'll have the tent up, right?
Yeah.
And have the gators going around again.
Yeah.
The table will be there.
Yeah.
One table, or?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm usually at the parade, so I'm not sure.
We have one table.
It's usually one
The last
table,
couple
yeah.
of years,
We
had
can
one
always
table.
request extra chairs though, because there's so many of us.
Yeah, that'll be,
We only have
yeah.
one-
And we're old folks,
two
so I
tables
can
left.
sit.
I think three
Yeah, the
tables
big
max.
I mean, sorry not to skip, I won't skip ahead, Katie, with the museum promotion, but that'll be a good opportunity if there's any information to give out with all the traffic going to the booth, you know, but.
Are we comfortable with the number 11? We discussed that enough?
You can send out an email too, right, if you need more help or
Yeah.
all that.
Yeah, it sounds like we have plenty. I was thinking, since Brian's gonna be leaving pretty soon, do you wanna, we jump down to the museum promotion and Katie's idea there, so Brian can hear Katie's idea before he has to leave?
That's a lot of pressure. Yeah, Alan and I,
Oh, pressure. You can handle it.
I don't know if I'm ready. Alan put this nice thing together. So Alan and I met this week. Lindsay wasn't able to meet with us, but she is gonna give us some ideas too. I think the thought is just to, like I mentioned at the last meeting, to just start doing some rotating exhibits. And the first step is just figuring out what those are so that we can start working on them. And I guess we wanted your opinions on them and additions. We were thinking that it's probably not possible manpower-wise to change something every single month, but maybe we could do every other month. And yeah, any other ideas? We were open. We wanted to do a map. Surprise, surprise, a map. I was interested in doing a map exhibit, and that kind of didn't. Did that fit?
I didn't put it on
Okay.
here.
Well, it
There
kinda
are
didn't-
other, I mean, we're flexible about,
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
the specifics.
Uh,
Yeah, I'm sorry, Katie, I didn't.
No, it's okay, that
I
didn't,
forgot
no,
it.
it's okay, it didn't quite, I remember we kind of filled the months, but,
Toys was another idea
Mhm.
that we thought about, maybe collaborating, we could collaborate with the doll museum or something.
You know, just
Real-
getting into that, because
Real revolution.
have they planned already
Yeah, let's get the.
for their redo? They were saying at AmFam, they're happy to loan out some of their displays to be
great.
used while they're closed and trying to find new premises.
I don't know that,
So-
if they're close, but that's great.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember, I think it might have been the end of last year. Would you like me to find out?
Oh, that'd be great, yeah, thanks.
So, pun intended,
Yes.
we've had a history of storms on Saturdays in the winter. Are we prepared to, you take January, if we get a storm, do we bump that?
then we're
and-
done until.
Yeah, because I, you know, like the Women's History Month, that's a point in time specific to other events. So you don't wanna slip that one, but do you slip things either direction and go, oh, we'll put it up in February or? Yeah.
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 You know, I mean,
And you just
another idea-
rotate it in at a later date, because if we get a closure, we've done a lot of work and,
Yeah, for it to be there.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
and
not
at least
sure
if
the
it's for
group-
2 months though, right, except
Yeah.
for the one that's kind of, that has to be dated like
Right.
that.
Right.
Although Veterans Day, did we have that on
You have the
Military.
here?
military.
Utility, yeah, exactly. Veterans Day is kind of was what we were
Right.
talking about there.
And we-
But,
Yeah.
so I think even if it's crazy, then at least if we do the 2-month thing,
Right.
it'll be there. And I think I told Alan, I feel pretty strongly too that if we are gonna do this, then it would be nice to do a few extra, just promotional things that, come see us, you know, backyard archaeology. We're also gonna have someone there talking about the Native Americans in the area. Could be Lindsay, you know, that could be easy. But, you know, not necessarily to do like, I don't think we're ready to do like a speaker series, that we're not at that point that we really wanna take on
Yeah.
planning, but to say we're kicking off November with, our military exhibit. And in addition to that, or to kick it off, we will have something here on a Thursday night, or we just have something there, someone's there from 10 to 2 talking about it. I just feel like, I didn't go to the spring program this year, but are all those people just willing to, it's just a once-a-year thing. It's like, can't we capitalize on, if people are interested in history, could we do 2? So could we pick 2 of these themes that, you know, ties with, to do a speaker, like an actual, a separate event. So, and then just along with it was, how are we gonna be promoting this? I know it's in the newsletter, which is nice, but that newsletter has tons of information.
You know, I think we miss a captive audience with the second graders.
Yeah.
I mean, is it a flyer that goes home with
Sorry.
them or put in their coloring books or,
Yeah.
I think it's a captive audience we miss.
Yeah, that they come and go,
Mhm.
yeah. So, I mean, and maybe it isn't necessarily this meeting, or maybe it is, but to kind of talk through, ways to get the word out. I was on TripAdvisor the other day, randomly looking at something for Louisville, and, you know, it kind of has these like side things. And it said Superior Historical Museum, and it had a 1-star review, and it said, the museum it's a really bad museum. It's an outdoor museum. There's just a bunch of old buildings. Like, we don't have a Yelp, you know, we could do a Yelp page. We could just go back on TripAdvisor and just update that. So I guess and
Well,
we
we've all visited the museum.
We have to start submitting
yeah, exactly,
reviews.
start commenting.
People do it on VRBO all the time.
Yeah, comment on their own
They
things.
bring their friends up for a party and then they ask them all to make comments, having stayed in the house.
Yeah, that's true.
That's where you have
You
to
don't
watch
believe
your,
everything you read on
watch
the
your,
internet.
watch your
Yeah.
comment, watch your reviews.
Uh-huh.
And it just hit me too that when you guys did the walk, I saw that Jerry posted something. He created an event for it. I don't know if anyone is aware of that. On Facebook, he created an event and he said he's going to the walk. And there were all these people that like said, you know, you can, who's on Facebook here? Some people? Anyway, so there's just a way that you can kind of create an event and say, yes, I'm going. And it has the date and the time, and there were like 20 people or something, it seemed like, that they saw it and said they were going. And I think, does the town set up do they want to set up a Facebook page?
Town
One of
does.
us could set up what'd you say?
There's a town Facebook page,
Okay,
yeah.
that maybe it could be a
There's also the
sub-page
80279
or,
that's all.
I don't know.
Mhm.
You know, I don't know whether it's just them I personally would love a separate, not separate from the town,
Yeah.
but a separate page that people can like on their own that only posts things about
Mhm.
the events that we have. Whether that's, you know, obviously that's a fine line that then will every single little,
Yeah.
but we are kind of a separate,
Mhm.
it's not like, so I would love for you to look into if
Yeah.
that's possible. I think Facebook, the other thing Alan and I had talked about is that capturing these families that think that there's no history in the area and are looking for things on the weekends to do, that, you know, I just think if those young, I don't know, 20 to 60-year-olds that are on Facebook would totally like this page and start following it, and then along with it, we've got these like things that we're actually doing, rotating exhibits, so yeah, and then like the Hometown Weekly, I just think it's kind of worth, if we're really gonna kind of start doing some new things at the museum, we probably need to rethink how we're getting the word out a little bit.
Well, I think this all is very exciting, sounding, because I'm on Facebook, but that doesn't say much. I don't get around very well on it and all the Yelp and all that sort of thing. So I think we got a real tremendous source of potential with all these kinds of resources, getting the word to people in a whole different generation.
Yeah.
So I think this is great, but it's on the court of the younger people, because I have no trouble on Facebook to start with. So.
Yeah, and we could post some of the video, we could do lots of neat things on Facebook. I guess the question is who, I know that sometimes when people propose an idea, it's like, that sounds great, no, someone go and do
You
it.
propose
I
it,
understand
you
I
want it.
propose it, yeah. So I'm,
Yeah.
I'm willing to help, but maybe the town doesn't, so maybe just, we need to have a discussion about, there's lots of things, whoever's doing the social media could do, just set up a Yelp page, that's really easy. When someone searches activities in Louisville and Superior, we should be coming up, that as a, and then the Facebook thing I think is a little bit bigger, but I would say that's a really great way that we could get the word out.
And there's also this Nextdoor group too. Are you familiar with that? It's it's a social media thing. I don't know, somehow I got on and somebody asked if I wanted to join the Nextdoor. People talk about things they're doing, if they have something for sale, they put it
lose
on
their
there.
dog. It's-
If they see coyotes in the area, they.
It's much more
It's just
controlled.
a neighborhood newsy
Yeah,
thing.
It's much more
okay.
controlled than, I can invite you.
Okay.
You have to be invited.
Oh.
But you're,
You have to live
I'm
next
cool
door.
enough.
but it's much more low-key than 80027. You don't get the rants and the raves and, or what's the other one?
The CAC.
CAC, yeah, where these people just go off.
Yeah, it's
you
the
know,
same
And
people.
it doesn't have that. Yeah, it's the
You
same.
aware of that, Joe?
What's that?
That's
I
Joe,
am
if
well
you're
aware.
aware of that.
Yeah.
This I am aware.
Wasn't there some ranting and raving last week though? Or did I read that somewhere?
There was.
About the town,
Town hall is,
the town hall expansion.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody wants
Oh,
you
on
to
next-
sign their petition,
Yeah.
and that's
That-
on next
Okay,
door.
I didn't see that one on Nextdoor. The biggest one
But
I've
that's
seen
on
was the
everything.
speeding on Castle Peak.
Yeah.
You know,
you-
but but it doesn't, when I talk about rants, I'm talking multi-screen diatribes.
Oh, I know.
Oh, and it's like,
you gotta control that.
Yes.
yeah, I mean, it's the wackadoos come out.
So maybe we can talk about that,
Yeah.
so you
Yeah.
can look into
Yeah.
seeing what they wanna handle. I don't mind, I've set up the Facebook page for our work, and really, the setting up is kind of the hardest part.
I don't,
Then-
you know, town's done a couple of TV ads, most recently for the summer, I was in one actually. And
Where do
I-
where do they show them?
On TV.
On TV.
Yeah, but which channel?
I don't know, I haven't found it yet. Cause I TiVo, I don't, I don't watch ads. It's not on Channel 8 though, it's on the commercial. The next time the town does one, we might want to get some, it's a real brief thing, it's a minute. And maybe you get 10 seconds to say, come, Historical Museum every first to third Saturday of the month. But, we should think about getting that included somewhere, but, yeah, it's there. But it should be just something jazzy too, like, the best looking one of you all get in the museum, you guys have to vote.
It's
on
those
who
guys,
gets-
Well, and Alan and I were also talking about if we kind of have some established themes that we might be doing, when they're cataloging, you guys can say, this is great, this would be great for the school, whatever it is, school theme or,
I had just looking at these, I don't know how easily it would come together, but I was thinking of a day of work in the mine back in the day. Maybe the equipment and some oil.
yeah, and we actually had industrial mine, there were several that we said we should just, even if there's a lot of things there, at the museum already, but to really say, we're doing an exhibit on the industrial mine, because I think even a lot of people don't know that, so. Yeah, so any other
big
ideas
life of a
too?
miner type
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. That's
And then,
good.
of course,
Job-
like-
different jobs are in there, yeah.
Another thing would be, like, for the Veterans Day, if we do something in November, it's just nice to kind of have this laid out, that maybe we do a tent that we invite all the veterans to come, something, you know, just, we could, if this is kind of on the calendar ahead of time, at least we have some time to, not every single, you know, not every 2 months do we have to have this big, huge event, but it just creates ways to think ahead of time, and I would hope if this is kind of what we do, then at every meeting we can say November's gonna be, you know, do we wanna do anything special or something like that, so. And inviting the high school or the high school history class, you know, just doing more with the, if we have some established, wouldn't high school history wanna come learn about the prehistoric Indian, you know, so just to be able to promote that around town would be good.
One quick point, Katie, yeah, in the monthly newsletter, the commission blurb or whatever it is can definitely get lost in that whole page,
Mhm.
but we can actually easily do like a dedicated
Just a separate-
e-blast that goes to the same
Yeah.
email group, and it would just strictly be like.
Yeah, which
I
would be
think
awesome.
we did an e-blast for.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the
Security,
depot,
yeah,
yeah.
just like
And
that,
then
yeah.
did it for the
So-
lights, like the truck.
Mhm.
Mhm, Yep.
Well, so is there someone on staff that has been doing the social media?
Yeah, it's typically a combination between Katie and our department and Melissa over here. It's kind of a shared thing, so I'm not real in tune with that, but I mean, I'll check what our possibilities are.
I think that's just a terrific idea. Us older people think more of the traditional things that we always.
Put up a
had.
poster.
Yeah, that's easy.
I don't mind everybody to know what I'm doing every holiday.
Yeah.
I don't care
That
what you
is
had
so
for
true.
lunch.
I have a sister like
That's
that.
true.
Selfie?
My wife's on Facebook, opened a Facebook account only to find out what the rest of the family's doing. Because all the nieces and nephews post and stuff.
Yeah, that's a girl did too.
Do you guys feel good about these? Are there major topics that you guys want to add?
That's a good list, I think.
Yeah, I think
That's a
so.
good list of the other topics, but there's other years too. So, these look great. I don't think we ever run out of topics. So it's,
How, have you two thought, how are you gonna organize this? I mean, you gonna have a committee to work on these
Well, we just thought you would,
topics or what?
we just thought you would do it.
You're in trouble then, you're in.
There you go.
And your first
Here's
assignment is to
list.
get a Facebook account.
that's right.
If anyone has
Oh,
a
yeah.
particular
Coal-fired computer.
interest
No,
in
a
a
computer
topic,
is-
and they wanna do research, I mean, that would be really helpful.
Research?
If someone.
Well, I didn't do it.
Now, Lindsay,
Because,
Yeah, Lindsay, there we go. She's got the.
she's the designated researcher.
Yeah.
Real quick, sorry, before I go, is anyone gonna see Lindsay coming up or meeting with Lindsay for anything, or, oh, I can wait till next month's meeting?
She
we
might be.
might,
You wanna leave it at the museum, is she gonna be at the
Right, next time I
museum?
go over there, I'll just put it on the
Okay.
I
calendar.
suspect she's not around if she's not here today.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
she said she had a
Okay.
job.
A job.
She's grading.
part, for 2 weeks.
Oh, is that so?
I was gonna tell you, but I thought you all knew that we appointed her. I'm not sure what you said.
Yeah, we got an email.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
That was my big thumb hitting something, man.
Thank you, Brian.
Thanks, guys.
Didn't really have an agenda, I think.
Right, I had her.
Oh,
Okay, Brian,
good.
thank you.
All right, thanks, sir.
Thank you.
That
Thanks,
doesn't
guys.
I would have remembered it. No, good work, Alan.
Yeah.
It's,
But to answer your question, Bob, I mean, Alan's really the only one that has experience kind of doing the creating some display boards, so I think it's a mix of, obviously it will take a day to be there to set it up, but then it's really the time, the hours before that, kind of figuring out.
doing
And,
research,
and one
finding
other,
materials.
we were gonna ask you about, there's a display case in the, where is it?
Grassy barn, yeah.
I just, so part of it would be that maybe boards might be made, posters might be made and mounted on the wall, not, hang from the wall, but then that the actual, we'd have one dedicated display or table that would also relate to the exhibit. So I just wonder if we could, that one's big, I think, but it'd be nice to be able to see what it is. If it's similar to that brown one,
Yeah, it is.
they're actually, although it's old, it's a really, at
I
least
think
it
it's
fit,
a-
it looks good, it looks good, but it's old, but.
I think it came from the same source, I think.
Yeah, it's old.
If it's for a museum, it should be.
The one is almost as long as these two tables.
Is it that long?
Yeah.
You think it's that
It's
long?
big.
Long one, but
Think so?
Oh.
I thought it was 5.
It's
No,
at
it's
least
not
as
quite
long
that
as
long,
this
but-
one.
Okay, but it's a big one.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's big.
But maybe we
And-
could move, that wouldn't be in the main room, but it's just thinking, we're gonna probably need some type of table to display some of this, and our thought is that there's that open, the open wall, to the doors to the right, the back door, the front door.
The south wall of the living room.
Mhm.
Yeah, there we go. That sounds better. So we might have to do a little bit of changing display. I don't know.
And we've
It's
also
like
talked about
street-
taking things out to
Yeah,
break things in, so it makes some space.
yeah.
That's, I think rotating exhibits means just that, you rotate some things
Yeah.
out. exhibit too. So, but, one of these days we'll have to go, at least take a picture of that thing.
And measure it. It'd be nice to get the dimensions at least.
We have a space issue. We need Danny's.
Yeah, we need the community building built.
Yes.
No, I'd say proceed with vigor on this looks like a,
Yeah, I think nice copies.
that military theme too, you even have veterans who have like, Veterans Museum in Broomfield, they have I think it's called a Saturday Forum, where they get veterans come in and they have coffee and donuts and they just let people
There we
talk
go, we'll
about
have
their
free donuts
experience.
for any
Yeah.
veteran.
The donut place just closed, so.
Didn't last long, did it?
Yeah, we have the memorial in the museum too.
We could put up our tent and put some chairs
Mhm.
or something.
Yeah,
That could
that
be
might
part
bring
of
people in.
that November exhibit might be.
It'll
just
bring,
a-
yeah, yeah.
And then talk about your experiences day.
Even displays in the tent outside, weather permitting, might give us some more room.
That's true too.
Mhm.
No, that's not a bad idea.
And
Go
if
You
we
in
just
can-
have to be
actually.
mobile, you have to get them in and out every day, every time.
And if we can get if we really could, once again, winter might be tough, but if we could get the fire truck parked out there every Saturday that the museum is open, that would really, really help.
That's been the idea behind,
Mhm.
part of the idea behind the truck is to attract attention.
Yeah, I think that'd be,
Gives you the
That'd be
need for a
awesome.
driver on
Well,
the committee.
that's part of the issue, because if Matt has to come in to drive it, that's overtime. And the town has to pay him overtime for that.
I don't know why.
but if we create the problem, they'll come up, if we say we.
So
this-
far, they've not come up with an answer other
Yeah,
than.
but I mean, if we
They've
say,
driven
we
it.
propose that we want it there every Saturday,
Your job idea.
if they say,
Right.
this is too big of a pain,
But
then.
that means Matt isn't doing something as his normal job, and that's the issue.
Yeah.
They usually have a guy on staff on Saturday, they used to anyway, I think Tommy's doing that
Could
now,
drag
maybe.
it over.
It seems to me like one of you could be hired one day a month.
My theory is that Wally should be hired as a minimum wage, sorry to negotiate wage, hourly employee that works 3 to 5 hours a month, depending, and coordinates maintenance on the truck, is cleared and insured to drive it, so you wanna bring it out for a Saturday, you're not calling someone in,
Mhm.
scheduling events that come up,
I like
and
that
he is
idea.
the fire truck manager. Yeah, that's my.
That's his job title.
That's my two cents. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I tell you, we did, in
It would say,
Alabama,
we've invested so much.
they had a citywide swim
But
meet
we
every year.
haven't,
and
but the board
parents-
hasn't invested so much, money-wise.
Yeah.
Oh, I meant the town.
Yes,
Yeah.
the town, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's minimal.
It's minimal.
I don't think it's,
Yeah.
I think their issue is whether it would actually solve the problem, I guess, because it would solve the problem otherwise.
Yeah,
If it takes an employee,
yeah. But it also takes, when you need an oil change, when you need,
well, they. no,
It
they-
does need some
But
oversight.
somebody
Yeah.
on staff should be doing that.
well,
right?
yeah. But I
It,
think Wally would be a good staff person to do
I think we probably need to.
I'm a bad penny, I'm not gonna go away.
Let's settle here a little bit too,
Squeaky
though,
wheel.
because
Yeah,
Walt
before we
said
ask for
last
more.
month, Walt
Yeah.
said that Matt Magley pretty much said, stop asking about this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think they don't wanna hear anymore.
Well, he's got louder people shouting at him for other reasons.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
yes.
it's, and the insurance company, as my understanding, the insurance company was very emphatic the last time they had a conversation. It's a big no,
Mhm.
only city employees,
Yeah.
because a citizen is not insured. And that's.
Let's figure out a way to approach Matt about the hiring Wally idea.
We might want to pick our time with him
Yeah.
when he's not.
Carefully.
Got
Yes.
pressures from
He'll
other
always be
sources.
wrong.
Yeah.
But the job description.
Okay, I'll jump back. Thanks a lot to all of you. Katie and Alan for putting some concrete proposals up here. I think this is going to be very helpful. I'll jump back up to number 12 under old business. Any other old business we haven't talked about? Then we'll go back through the new business. Just wanted Brian to hear this before he left. Okay. June 18th, so I can't remember, I wrote down those who said they'd be here, Mary, but late,
Yeah.
like the last hour.
I'm gonna be here tomorrow?
Yeah,
Tomorrow. I'll be there.
so I thought Katie was a
I don't
yes.
really know what to do, but I'll smile.
Make up
But
his-
I don't have, I mean, if no one else is there, I mean, hopefully someone else will be there then.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Okay.
Is that it?
I'm over the top.
You know, part of doing
But
this
you
is
don't
give
need
you
to,
a
yeah,
day
right.
off, Bob, because that.
Yeah,
I
But
think
if
the
you want-
idea
if you
was
wanted
that
to,
people would
yeah.
not have to be there both
yeah,
times.
so we should be
Okay.
fine with two, and
Okay,
then
thanks,
did you say
okay.
me you're coming a little later?
The last hour, depends on
You
what
miss
we
having
take
you
on the
there.
car.
Okay.
Okay, we'll get it done. Are you coming? I forgot.
No, they're coming June 2, or July 2, I mean.
Okay,
And I'm available on the second.
Jill and Walt on the 2nd.
Yeah, I can get at 10 or at 12. Are we doing split shifts or full shifts?
Oh, I don't know, do whatever you can do is what we're doing.
Okay.
I'll be there at 10.
I think Wally,
Yeah. I will be there as close to 10 as possible, but it'll be closer to
I'll be
1.
there back. Okay.
We usually come late morning.
Closer to noon. Is that what you said? I'll try for 10, but it'll be noon. It's better to just be honest, right? Just say noon.
Well, it looks like
It's close to 10.
we'll have the place
It's
staffed.
4 in the
If
afternoon.
you say noon, you gotta
Then
bring
the next
lunch.
day, it's closer than the next day.
Part of our motivation
Yeah,
behind this
Sunday.
too is to, I forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah, to have fewer people actually in the museum, so it doesn't look like they're having to run a gauntlet when they come in. So, yeah, we got there. A little jumping here.
yeah.
Okay, and number 2, Fram, sounds like Walt and Carol are going.
Yeah.
And Mary and David are going. And,
I got a conflict, so I don't think I'm gonna make it.
yeah, we're leaving town on the next day, and my book club was, ended up getting scheduled on the 20th, so I'm not available on the 20th. I'm disappointed about that, so.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
I think you're.
Just 4 of us, though?
You separately is good.
Do you have to sign up by noon today or this afternoon?
I haven't read it lately, but it's usually it's noon Friday,
Yeah,
so.
yeah,
But, or, they're pretty flexible if you want to.
yeah. Wally and I are kind of interested in that too. Depends on our schedule.
Well,
It's just,
museum back porch safety concern, as I reported in an earlier email, some handyman took off took off that 2x4 and relocated it, so. And he also trimmed up the screen door, so I think he'll bring a sander tomorrow and try to make the door fit a little bit better too. But, to review that, the walls got tangled up in this lip that's on the edge of the porch, and we had this idea of putting items on the porch like a washing machine, and our consultant was adamant about having a lip on there so that the washing machine or whatever would not somehow fall off the porch and go down the steps. And since it takes 3 men and a boy to get that washing machine out of there in the first place, I don't think it's, put it on the other side of the porch. So I just took the dang thing off, because that's not the first time someone's gotten tangled up on that, so. So, hopefully, I tell you what I think we ought to do too is study that thing, and I wonder if we should have an extension on that deck so that there's not the big step down.
Yeah, I was thinking we even need, if it's gonna stay the way it is, it needs a railing there. Because that is a big step, and somebody can back right off the side of that with a lip or without the lip. I think there should be a railing unless we
I gotta agree
put
with you,
steps
Karen.
down that side or something. It is a big step. And you're down into the dirt and potentially down the stairway.
Down the stairway, well, bet you.
And perhaps until that happens, get some of that hazard tape, that yellow and black stripe tape, to put across the edge of that, so people focus on it.
Just tape it along, you mean just tape it?
Yeah, yeah. And probably the town has, 6 feet of that somewhere.
Good idea.
Okay. I'm trying to think how that would work.
We'll have to stare at it like we did for this, the sign.
That's
We'll
right.
have-
Can you do a
Yeah.
mock-up for that too?
Well, so maybe I'll talk to Brian, he'll get somebody in who does that kind of work, and look at it, make a suggestion.
Even a railing partway along, like from the house out for 3
Yeah.
feet or something, and then the other part is easy for stepping up and down, because it's not by the stairs, it's a little less of a step.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that. So when you say a railing, you're talking about, so here's the wall of the museum, here's the deck comes out about to the edge of that desk there, you're talking about the railing being on this side?
From the wall out.
On the wall side.
From the wall out, perpendicular to the wall.
Oh, okay, so that way someone.
Right along the edge where the
Okay.
lip used to be.
That would
See,
be,
In other words, instead of
Part
the
of the
lip-
issue is,
Yeah.
this foot doesn't work very well from my stroke,
Yeah.
and the nerve that lifts your toe is dead. And so I have this brace that has a hinge, but the hinge didn't lift far enough, and I caught this toe on it, and that's why it fell. Was because my foot didn't.
Mhm.
But,
It's,
people
There
with,
are other people
people
that-
with good work can still trip, so.
Well, then what, 10% of us have non-working toes, right, Molly?
Yeah.
is that right?
Yeah, I have no nerve in one toe.
Is that right?
I just don't have to wear a brace on, yeah, for one foot. And Wally has something too, doesn't he, his ankle?
Yes, he does,
Yeah,
but
so,
that's from an old skiing accident.
yeah, but it causes us to get into other trouble.
Oh, yes, it
Yeah,
does.
Which is the point is,
He's pretty careful.
the best of
because-
circumstances,
Yes.
but just of this group, 3 of us have
Toe issues?
toe issues.
That's just the
We're gonna
start.
stay away from you guys.
Wanna work your way
But
up.
the concept of needing to fix it, if this sampling is
3 out of
30%,
10 or
yeah,
whatever.
is
Yeah,
pretty,
there's a little bit of a liability issue there, should it be one of our,
Yeah.
well, anybody actually.
Yeah.
But I'm
Safety,
thinking of our
common
guests
sense
that come to
safety.
visit.
Yeah.
Also, I think a lot of us have noticed that porch is, the paint is already disintegrating on the porch, and I've asked Brian to look into it, see if there's a warranty or anything on it, and I think unfortunately, it's probably the same problem we run into at the Railroad Museum, and since the good news is we don't have lead paint anymore, the bad news is paint doesn't stick like it used to, and so.
Yeah.
And we have pieces at the railroad museum that get painted, and 2 years later, they're needing to be painted, so. That didn't last, but whatever, that was, what, 6, 8 months or something?
That should do better than
Yeah.
that.
Well, that's flat surface, it gets weathered.
But it wasn't, I don't even think it was as bad as that, and they had to repaint it, so, yeah, you're right, for the flat surface. And I think it's not redwood either, it's pine.
No.
I was, you put this on, Karen, did you have something in mind, or is this because Eagle Scout, because of my telling you
Just because,
that?
was it your,
Yeah.
somebody said there was an Eagle Scout on the walk that was
That was
interested
me.
in doing, yeah, that's what I thought. That's why it's on there.
Okay, so, a lady named Catherine Schlegel has come to a lot of our openings and programs, and, so she was on the walk last walk with her son, and he's interested in the Eagle Scout project, so, I don't have their contact information, I gave him my business card, but he hasn't gotten back to me, so I haven't, they had a chance to ask Brian, I asked Brian to look and see if there was, if they were in the information base, you know, like having RSVP for the walk or something. But, so he's interested, but I don't know if we have a project, so.
Yeah.
I think he's just on there to be thinking about project as we ran into it,
You could build a railing.
Yes.
I'm serious.
that's
No,
really.
that's
I
true.
mean, come on, if you
they
can build
have-
a bench and put it next to a walkway, I think building a railing, because they have to coordinate the fundraising, the
workers,
supplies, the workers,
materials.
the doing it, and it has to have a beneficial good to the community.
Mhm, yeah.
You could build a
That's-
and
Why
you
not?
have to work with town hall to get it approved.
We've
and-
got it.
Yeah, I think you could build a railing.
Yep.
Now, would that be big enough? That's, of course, that'd be up to.
Oh, it's huge.
Well,
Growing as we speak.
Oh.
it's got a lot of
Well, as I say,
hardwood everywhere.
there's two sides to the railing, yeah. Two porches. I never rolled in it.
No, that's, maybe we should look at that plus anything else like that.
Yeah, there's a front porch and a back porch. I
Something
mean,
on the
Or
front
if
as
he's
well.
got other ideas for making that safer.
mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, excellent. Jill, you are rolling
I'm
today.
not on roll today. I'm taking no
In
prisoners.
spite of your non-functioning toe, it's, doesn't affect your cranial
Right.
capacity.
That should be a new question on the commission application. Do your toes work?
That'd be kind of a shoe-in. Okay, yeah, I know where you're going to have lunch at the rec center.
Where? Yeah.
Yeah, lunch at the rec center. Okay,
Tell Caroline.
I will, all right.
I'll get out a paragraph and Mary oftentimes adds to it, so.
Okay, you add to it, and I'll do it at
Oh,
presentation.
yeah, oh, okay,
For Anthony.
yeah.
All right.
See you
Okay,
next
see
day.
y'all.
Lord willing.
Great
Bye.
idea on the Eagle Scout project. It's finding again.
It's not a common last name,
Schlegel?
Schlegel. There's a lot of Schlegels around Longmont.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Oh,
Big
I think
homesteaded
How do you spell
family. and,
Schlegel?
I don't know what they're related or not. I don't know anything
Yes.
about the family, I just know
Well,
they were huge,
yes.
Yes.
farm.
I thought there was
I
some-
did this, but
I thought there was somebody connected with the HOA with that name.
SCH.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, they seem to be involved.
Somebody who puts out
What
the
was her first
announcements
name?
for their events.
Catherine?
Catherine Schlegel?
She might be the one that puts out the HOA announcements, like the movie park,
Oh.
stuff like that.
Okay. Any other new busyness? Oh,
Oh, yes.
What time
I
are
wrote
we,
them.
are we suggesting we meet, for the parade? We don't obviously have to be there at 7:30 yet.
An important question is, when do the pancakes get served? You don't want to be there before then.
you're gonna ride
I
the
think that.
truck?
Pancakes start flying off in the grill.
Yeah, I think so, Bob. But that's the reason why we like to go to the park first, so we can
Darn right,
front the
boy.
line. first in line for the pancakes.
What
Well,
time
let's
is
see,
there?
what have we done in the past? So it starts
Well,
running
after
up
you,
at
you
7:50.
guys all run the downhill
I
mile,
think-
right?
Sure.
We showed up around 8 o'clock.
I think so, yeah.
Last year anyway, 8 or 10 after. When I got there, Gladys and Mary and David were already there.
Town staff already have the truck over there, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, everything was lined up
Drive it.
already.
No, it's
Are you still gonna have a vehicle in front of the fire truck? Is that the,
That's
what
what we've
vehicle
heard.
is that gonna be?
I believe the bigger truck
The bigger
is there to
truck?
hold our truck in case the brakes fail.
You mean the bigger fire truck? Oh.
That was
I
what
thought-
we heard
I
had to
thought it was gonna be a
happen.
town, I thought it'd be a town vehicle.
So if our brakes fail, it just goes gliding into the back of the big fire truck and all is well.
Fire truck slows her down.
I'm sure you have candy to throw out at the kids in a minute.
We want to contribute to their tooth decay.
Oh, yeah.
So, and it'd be there a little bit later down at the park, because obviously the parade doesn't get there till 9 o'clock or after.
Pretty close to
Okay. Any others? Oh, Lindsay was officially appointed. I hear many very nice welcoming emails to Lindsay on that, so was she the only applicant?
Yeah, so far, yeah.
But we're full now, aren't we?
Yeah, it brings it
Yes.
back up to capacity,
Yeah, we appointed her the same night as her interview.
right? Yeah.
It was on May 23rd.
I think so.
Because one of the people at that open house told me she was going to apply, but I think she applied for another commission.
We just had somebody apply for the resource, recycling.
Oh, recycling, yeah.
As you know.
That might have been it. Okay, anything else for the good of the order? Motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Am I seconding today?
Who gets the second?
I second.
Okay, Jill gets the second. I doubt there's any debate on that, so we'll call her good. Thank you, everybody.
I always get it.
As always, a lot of good ideas.
Yeah.
Kenny, you need to start jumping in on motions and seconds.
Oh, I'm not ready for that.
Oh.
Well, it used to always be Bob and Denzel. So we're
Someone
like
had
that,
fun,
yeah.
yeah.
If I had to combine tomorrow,
Excellent.
early, then we could rehang some of them.
Thanks to Wally for handling last month's meeting, too.
Well, I hope you don't have to take your off.
Yeah, well, he had a doctor's appointment. Oh, there were all kinds of comments.
Because so I would get to
Him having it here.
That's what I would think.
He didn't get any
Or
symptoms.
But sure, yeah.
He had.
Oh, I'm on my 40th trying to
Just
get
like it. He went to the ER.
IDs are a problem.
Yeah.
They took him in right away and said it was really quite serious.
Hey, I got
So you don't know what caused it?
Yeah, off tour. Back tour. Thank you guys too. Bye.
He doesn't remember being bitten. He got to Canyon City, you know, we went on, I went Winnebago Cruise
Oh, yeah.
on the Royal
No,
Gorge
we were
Railroad. Saturday, by Saturday.
You're all set.
And he sat, he stood out in the open
Good?
car.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Except for the
I got,
last
we
time.
have to be afraid.
And I thought maybe he got too
No.
much sun. He had a-
They
oh,
put
he's
in,
pretty
yeah,
sensitive.
they
So
reject
just
it.
now,
Yeah.
But I don't know that his ear was sticking out, but sometimes sun can get through.
They knew it opened at 11:30. I told them they won't do it.
But all of a sudden, it just swelled up. I mean, it was very quick, because it was like to me, it was like a bug bite.
And they said, you
But
want to come in and
they
unless you're
gave, he went to the
required.
ER in Salida, and they
He's
gave
just
him
like,
some
"Come on, it's our Friday. All we want to do is
antibiotics,
get
and
it
he sick.
sick. So she can cover the
So it started to get better after he
It's that it's
one
the
deal,
fourth grade,
then
it's
he
the
got
fourth
sick,
grade
so
where
he-
someone's. So I'm like,
It's like Bob's class.
But he's unbelievable.
It's the opposite, because Bob was the only guy in his class.
Guys,
like it's 14. Yeah,
Everybody feels like that
Sometimes.
Nine.
So the manager wrote a nice note, put it on the sticky in my
Particular
car, and
ear
she's
of
been using my
his
car
is
for that.
very sensitive.
You go over and you're like,
You know, when we were kids, we could bring all in our ear when we
Oh,
were.
yeah, way up there.
Whenever you
You know,
got
and I'm like-
infections, they rinse the ear. I got sick probably just fine. I think I
A lot of times the machines now.
Yes, I
I was
do.
6 years old.
Yes, I do.
No.
That's the typical.
All you had
Yeah,
to say-
so it, but it's just, it's like
Right.
2010.
Tonsillitis,
Son, I get a drink from the drinking fountain.
See, I did. I had tonsillitis all the time.
Only
and ear
swim team
infections
till
all the
11:30.
time.
It's
I had
like,
my
well, I am on swim
They
team.
tore it down.
Oh,
But the
So-
Yeah, the
thing
so it's
that
just
they
like
did back in our day was
frustration.
as soon as you
Yeah.
had a problem in the ear, they
I am
laced
not
the ear.
Higher range.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what that means, but yes, way down the end.
I always think of the kids at the desk when they're in inspection.
And, well, yeah, it is, because I've been hard of hearing in that ear ever since they did that. It wasn't the right thing to do, but that's what they did back in 1946.
It's on your own time, so it's
Now I'm dating myself.
it was just, you know, it had just been.
Bye-bye, Bob.
I have 4 now. and I'm like,
Bye, Bob. Take care.
Take care. Have a good
See
day.
you on the fourth.
Okay, right.
Right now, for the second.
Second, yeah. Okay.
For the second.
But her mother.
I go to the South Pole just because it's easier to keep people cycling there.
Yeah.
I like the North Pole better for hanging around, but
Yeah, right.
it's impossible. I mean, you get serious swimmers.
That's complained to my parents.
Whenever somebody shows up with a water bottle and all this other
Yeah.
equipment, I say, well, that's a lot playing on the front seat for a while.
Yeah,
And I know it's not the ideal place.
yeah,
Everybody
But
there
I'm
is
happy to be there.
yeah, usually.
Cheerio.
Adios.
Adios.
Depending on which friends.
Arrivederci.
She's so much on flyers.
Todd.
That too.
It's not like she has the school phone.
Yeah.
So Jill, I run into Dan every once in a while over on my turf.
Yeah, he runs all
Running.
around the lake up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We-
It's whatever distance and it rounds it out, so he loves that route, yeah.
Yeah, that's what he told me. He didn't have to stop to talk, of course.
No, he can't stop
I'm
to
doing, what do you call them? I'm doing
Yassos.
intervals or something
Intervals,
like
yeah.
that.
If you ran my pace, you'd be able to stop for
Ah!
I look for Larry to talk with.
Yeah, so I bump into Joe every now and then. The other day, this lady came scooting past me in her bicycle.
That's
and
Betsy?
she said, it was Betsy, so. It was funny.
She rides her bike up on weekdays, the South Pool is open early for laps.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So she rides her bike up to the South
She
Pool
does.
on.
That's a ride.
It
Yeah,
is,
that's
a-
uphill.
that's part of the objective though, get that exercise,
Right.
and then swims laps up there.
Oh,
So
good
she
for
was
her.
on her way back.
Yeah, oh my goodness. That sounds serious.
Well,
She
she's-
picked me up a few times and did that,
Yeah, one time I saw her.
yeah.
But,
One I saw him riding his bike and she was riding her bike
Yeah.
on Rocky Park.
part of the trouble of riding your bike in the morning is it's like you're running a gauntlet of sprinklers, you never know which one's gonna.
Oh, that's
Come
true,
on.
yeah.
Yeah, that drives my dog nuts too.
I
She can't stand
I
water.
asked the town once, please give me a sprinkler schedule so I can plan my route. They
Yeah.
said, we don't have one.
You don't have one, I'm not surprised to hear him say that.
So here's my proud mama
Yeah,
picture.
so my dog goes nuts
Oh.
over water sounds and
Oh,
stuff.
well, I just dread I'm gonna be in the middle
I know.
and hear that, oh no, gotta sprint now.
Protecting myself and
Yeah.
protecting her, I get a little edgy sometimes.
Yeah.
How are the
She
kitty
does
cats?
too.
The kitty cats are
It was
huge.
a good meeting. I'll tell you, that coloring book was like a home run with my 5-year-old
Oh, really?
One goes on
grandson,
down
so
the
we
boat
wanna
there.
get
Now, the
more.
one who needed was weight in, but the
Do
other
you
one just
wanna-
keeps gaining.
They're gonna drop by tomorrow, otherwise.
I'm gonna try to drop by, I'm doing the community
They're
ride
big.
They are
down
big.
Yeah,
from
almost got hurt.
Because mine are
Louisville
7
into
and 9,
Boulder.
yeah.
That starts at
That's-
9:30.
the 9
Okay.
probably
So
the
I'm
biggest
assuming
one.
I'll get back before you guys close, and if I do,
Otherwise, we
I'll
just
swing
like
by.
I don't know
over
why.
now and
I don't wanna
get
put
You
you out
know,
of the
kids
way.
for roughhousing got bumped.
No, actually, if you don't mind,
But it's like, you just don't get
I don't know, it's a kind of a long walk.
So,
I'll I'll let you go.
Yeah.
Unless you,
Okay, get in.
unless you were
Bye,
heading
guys.
over there anyway, but if you're not,
See ya.
if you're not heading over there now, then go.
Sounds like you ought to be able to get somebody.
Yeah. But, and also think about replenishing the supply of the year.
Yeah, I'm surprised to hear, of course, we get. Yeah, I'll do that too. Thanks, Joe.
Thank you, Larry. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll get there. Because what I plan to do is ride back. I'm not gonna come back on where I have to go over Davidson Mesa
Oh,
coming back,
okay.
so I'll probably come back on the back trails and
Okay.
should come right by here then.
Very good.